My name is Stephen from Stephen Tech Reviews and welcome to episode 1 of my new series, Tech Vlog. Today, we'll be checking out SM Cyberzone's VR booth last Monday and Tuesday. Before we begin, a quick shout out to MSI. Thank you for sending out these awesome apparels. Special thanks to Aubrey and Earl for joining me in this really cool experience. The booths were packed with lots of awesome stuff, ranging from smartphones, computers, laptops, video cards, etc. featured by MSI, Galax, and Samsung. There were 2 VR headsets featured on the booths. One was Samsung's Gear VR and the other one was HTC VIVE. Now first of all, let's check out the games that were compatible with the HTC VIVE. First, we check out MSI's booth. Aside from their high-end gaming laptops and desktops, they had vertical limit on. It was the most unique game of the bunch because you were able to walk on this game. The mechanics were pretty simple. You had 2 controllers on your feet and you had to walk through the platform. If you fall, or if you get hit by lasers, or if the time runs out, then it was game over. In terms of gameplay, this was the most fun game out of the bunch because it was really exciting. I mean, walking in a straight platform but having this feeling that you're actually going up and down was pretty awesome. Next, we had Fruit Ninja in VR. Most of you know this game as the app on the phone and it's pretty much the same here on the VR experience. But it was pretty cool because you had 2 katanas for controllers and you had to slash all over the place. In terms of gameplay, this was pretty fun. And in my opinion, it was just a simple game but still a pretty fun experience. Next is VR Archery. This is a tower defense game where you, the user, have to defend your castle using your bow and arrow. You basically had to load your arrow on your bow using the 2 controllers, then release it to launch your arrow. The gameplay was pretty fun and tense because it was kind of hard to hit the arrow without practice. Personally, I experienced some glitches during my second time playing the game, but it was no big deal and I think it was easily fixed. Next, we have the SpiderMan Homecoming demo. This was a pretty fun game and immersive experience because for me this was the first VR experience that I had during the booth, and the feeling that you were really Spider-Man and you were really shooting your webs was pretty awesome. And there was this part where you had to climb up the ledge. There was this immense feeling that I was really on top of a building, which was pretty cool. I mean, I tried out VR cardboard boxes and this doesn't even come close. Next game to be featured was the Unspoken. This game was really fun because on one hand you had a shield, on the other hand you had a fireball, and you basically had to kill all of your enemies. And this was such a fantasy RPG experience. Well, maybe not RPG, but you kinda get the point. Lastly, we check out Samsung's Gear VR booth. This booth was basically a roller coaster simulator, and it had a chair that was moving to simulate that you are indeed inside a roller coaster along with the VR headset. In terms of immersion, this was pretty immersive because you have the feeling that you are really inside a roller coaster. But Samsung's Gear VR is just like a good cardboard box, and in my opinion, it had its fair share of drawbacks. My biggest problem with Samsung's booth was the resolution of the image that I was seeing on my VR headset. It just didn't look convincing enough, and especially it had its fair share of screen tearings, which was really distracting. Sadly, we still had computers and games that we couldn't check out due to the rain settling into the location, which caused the booth to close down early. Now, which games did we enjoy the best? For Aubrey, it was Vertical Limit. This was because of the fact that it was more immersive for her because you had to move inside the game. For Earl, it was the Unspoken because out of the bunch of games that were presented in there, the Unspoken had the most deep combat system involved. Finally, for me, Spider-Man was the best game in the booth because for me it was the most convincing VR experience. This is the first time that I was able to try the HTC VIVE, and to me it just convinced me that the VR world was real. And in that 5 to 10 minutes that I tried out the game, I was just lost in the world. And I think it was so convincing that I was on top of the building, that I was swinging, and it was just so amazing. So overall, our first VR experience was fun, and it convinced me that the VR world is indeed awesome. So maybe I'll be checking out more VR related items soon, so stay tuned for that. So that has been my first vlog. If you enjoyed the video, click like, comment, and of course, subscribe. And I will see you on the next one.